You want to swing wildly at the internet like you've got the new pill in your hand, but you keep getting dead battered. Find the movement you want with NordVPN. They are our protection against terrifying cyber threats and wide-battered geo-blocks. NordVPN will help you get through any rights restrictions so you can watch all the cricket you want. We aren't always happy with the wickets we're on. Sometimes we need a change. NordVPN can switch your virtual location so your IP address is ready to cash in. So if you need to get around the internet's rules, or I suppose in our case laws, select NordVPN. They can help you watch a game on a cheaper stream in another country. Give NordVPN the ball and let them penetrate all your vast internet issues. Because if you need a VPN, go Nord. Use nordvpn.com/Kimber to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan plus 4 additional months for free. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also receive a 20-gigabyte daily data voucher. The link is in the show notes. Protect your computer like a big hitter is coming for you at nordvpn.com/KIMBER right now. Thanks to MV Play, I was able to make this. Their advanced technology can help any cricket team elevate their skills and performance.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 47 of the Crickpicks podcast. I'm Behram Qazi, who you can find at Def Mango, still without the beard. With me is Estelle Vasudevan, who you can find at Estelle_Vasudev, the number 1 on Twitter. And of course, we've got Jarrod Kimber with us. You can find him literally everywhere. If you are new to the Crickpicks podcast, what we do in this show is that we take a generic cricket category and we draft our top 5 for that category. But sometimes we combine to assemble teams. We've done that for 6 shows consecutively now or something. And this one is also going to be one of those. It's more exciting though, definitely more exciting than the previous ones. Test team of the 80s. Right? And Jarrod, you might be very happy to bag first pick for this because you're littered with options over here.
Imran Khan.
You've taken it. He's done it.
There's no other player. He basically in the 80s, and it's not quite for the full amount of the 80s, but basically in the 80s, he averages less than 20 with the ball and more than 50 for the bat. It's not quite that. I think it's a slight overlap with the 90s as well. But
yeah, it's 81 to 91 where he averages below 20 with the ball and over 50 with the bat, which is insane. That's 51 test matches, by the way.
He essentially, what he does in that period is I think it's the only time for a decade anyone has ever given the same impact as Bradman. It's not quite the same. I mean, if those of us unlucky enough to watch Imran Khan bat will know that it was kind of stodginess and a lot of 40s and 70s and everything. Like it wasn't great, graceful batting or anything, but his bowling was absolutely incredible. And then towards the end of the decade, he could bowl because he had so many other good bowling options. He could just bring himself on when it was suiting him as well.
Can't believe I've missed out on Imran 2 podcasts in a row.
You would have picked him anyway, right?
No, in this one I would have. And that one I probably should have, when we made that team to beat the West Indies. And I had first pick.
He would have picked Peter Sleep or Greg Matthews or...
I had first pick in that one as well. But
Ramesh Raja.
But this one was a very obvious first pick, right? Because he has that golden run for 10 years and 9 of those years were in the 80s. And I mean, he was one of the cricketers of the 80s. So he starts, maybe even captains this team. Jarrod, you've already won this because, the popularity of Imran Khan and how he's a very polarizing character as well these days in Pakistan. So either people will hate you or they'll love you. Anyway. I'm going to go for the next very obvious option, Viv Richards, right? And just to kind of give people an idea of the thought process behind the idea of this podcast, I thought that we're building this team to beat the West Indies, but none of those West Indian players will make it to the team. So that's why I was like, let's do a team of the 80s so that those guys can make it as well. Viv Richards scored 8,540 runs at an average of over 50, playing the way he did. He was an anomaly, right? He was batting at a strike rate which was unknown at that time. And I know a lot of that is ODIs, but even in Test cricket, Jarrod, he was a very aggressive batter. And I mean, who else could we have gone for the second pick, right?
His average isn't quite as high as some of the other guys, but he plays like 80 Test matches, and I think his decline starts in the 80s as well. He probably peak Viv Richards might have been in the 70s. So... he's very big chance of, if in the future when we do the best team in the 70s of coming up as well. But when you factor in his strike rate as well, so there's no problem with him being the second pick here. Yeah,
he would have made the team for sure, but I guess we can debate on what pick number he should have been. But I feel quite confident, and it's a strong one. Finally, some turnaround for me.
It had to happen eventually.
Yep. All right, Estelle.
Okay, so I've got two, right?
Hmm.
I'll go with easy picks. I'll go with Malcolm Marshall as my first one.
Yep.
Who also averaged under 20 in the...
Yeah,
Or was it 20?
19.91.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
that is crazy.
323 wickets, right? So 63 matches across 63 matches.
Basically plays
strike-
most of his career in the 80s, right?
Mhm.
And what was the strike
Yeah.
rate? Sorry.
Strike rate of 44. So
Pretty good. Very
he's
good.
handy.
like, I mean, again with this one, like our previous one, we could probably pick either 12 West Indians, but I mean, that was a pretty obvious pick for me. For my number two, I'll give Behram a bit of pain by picking a Pakistani
Yeah,
bowler.
you can go for him. Oh, bowler. Interesting. Okay. All right.
I'll go with Abdul Qadir
Okay.
as
Very,
a
very
spinner
good pick.
for our team.
When she said Pakistani, I thought she was going somewhere else, though.
I'm more surprised that we've gone Abdul Qadir so early.
Okay.
He's in
That
my
is
team.
purely to mess with Behram.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then it's the right pick.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're both really good picks because if you talk to any of those batters who played in that generation, the 80s, they'll say that Malcolm Marshall, a lot of them will say that Malcolm Marshall is the toughest bowler they've ever faced. And Abdul Qadir was like the only spinner doing well at that time, right?
Yeah, and dominates. So, yeah, they're both easily in this side.
Yeah, those guys picked themselves. And I will now go for another Pakistani, actually. I thought Estelle was going to pick him to bother me, but I'll do it. Javed Miadad. I think also someone who picks himself, never averaged below 50 in Test cricket. And in the 80s, he was undoubtedly one of the best batters, of that decade. And I mean, you're pairing him up with Viv. So Viv at 3, Javed at 4 is already very, very intimidating. And those guys are also characters who would kind of get on your... Well, Javed would definitely get under your skin. He'll have that, serial killer, or not serial killer, but what would I say? He is the...
This is taking a turn.
Head honcho of a heist, right? He is that criminal-esque character who is just there for, some shits and giggles as well at times, and a very, very street-smart cricketer, someone who would nudge the ball around very smartly, get those singles and doubles, and very, very intelligent, far more intelligent than many of his peers.
Yep. I'm happy with the last two picks because that allows me to take Richard Hadley. Who probably should be in the top 4 picks, and I didn't think he would fall this low. So I'm pretty happy to get Imran Khan and Richard Hadley right at the top of my list here. And then I'll just finish off the bowling as well. I'll go Joel Garner.
Yeah, Joel Garner had to be there. That's a really good bowling attack, by the way. Crazy.
It's a fantastic bowling attack there. So we, if we've got Hadley, we've got Imran at
7?
Yeah,
Maybe
it might have to
7.
be 6 in this side, depending what we do from here, because the wicket keeper gets a little bit more icky, doesn't it? So we've got Imran at 6 or 7, Hadley at 8, Marshall at 9, Garner and Abdul Qadir. So our bowling is kind of already done, but we can still slip some other bowlers in if we need to.
Absolutely. I think we're looking quite good, in good shape for once, after what has been a chaotic day of Crickpicks. Anyway, Estelle, you've got some... Or is it me?
It's you.
It's you, mate.
It is me. All right. Way to put me on the spot, guys. Man, this is a tough one. I could go opener, which is very safe. And I could go middle order batter, which is also very safe. Or... I could go wicketkeeper, but that's not going to make me win this draft, is it? Although I only think that there's one wicketkeeper who's capable enough of being in this side. I'll take the easy route. I'll go Sunil Gavaskar. We need an opener. He's averaging more than 15 Test cricket. The 80s are when he does really, really well. Although at the end of the 80s, he kind of slides off. But I mean, he's a safe pick, and we need someone to be dogged, I guess, in that era, up top. He can do that.
He was my first choice as opener in this side as well.
I think with Viv, Javed and Gavaskar, I've done quite well.
You've certainly annoyed some bowlers with those three. On top of them just being talented, all three of them would just give everyone the shits. Now
Okay, then.
Estelle's going to finish off here. Oof.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me. So I've got
That's-
2 picks. And who do we need? We need,
need an
another opener.
We need a wicket keeper. We need more batting in the middle order, and we have a 12th available to us as well.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see.
She could
1
either
second.
completely win this for us, or our team's going to shit, isn't it?
So why do you say that?
Because there is
Why
one
do you
really
say
obvious
that?
pick for the middle order batter, right? I almost went for that guy.
Is it someone you picked before today?
Maybe. I'm not saying anything.
Okay, the easy one is the keeper, right? It has to be Dujon from West
Yeah.
Indies.
I
So
had Jackie Dujan
500s
as well.
during that period, averaging just like only 35, but he's got 500s,
That is
1450s.
A
So
very good average for the 80s for a wicketkeeper, by the way, 35.
Yeah, that was probably, Alan Knott before him. Really, there aren't that many players that average over 30, 32 as a wicketkeeper.
Yeah. All right.
okay,
Second one.
middle.
Fin-
Okay, let me. Should I go opener?
You could. There is also a really good
I
opener
feel
in
like Estelle's not as confident here. I think
No,
something's
I'm
happened. And we got
Because Behram said
Dujon
I'm
is the
going to
one-
mess this up.
I thought
Well-
Dujon was the one I would have left till last and made me pick it to screw my side up. So very thankful that you've gone with Dujon.
I was about to go for Dujon, but
There's
then I was
no
like, no,
other
I'm doing
keeper,
well.
right?
I agree.
There is
but
no
we
other
could've
keeper.
done-
When
we could've
people
done the
will see
keeper
the
last.
names. Yeah, when people see the names, they'll be like, Dujon, okay.
Do you know what? Keepers and spinners quite often screw us up because of
Yeah.
this kind of thing. Anyway, good luck.
Okay, so I'll pick an opener.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
no.
gonna pick one of the West Indians. It has to be one of
Okay.
them, right? So
Yeah,
we're
it
fine.
has to be.
Yes.
I think so.
But I don't know which one is better. So I'm just gonna go with Gordon Greenwich because
Good choice.
he's
That's the
also
better one.
got like he's also kind of a part-time bowler, isn't he?
No, not really.
No, but Jarrod always tells me, and I think he's told me the story like 5 times now, that Gordon Greenwich played for too long. Had he not played for too long, then his average would have looked a lot better. But it's
Much
still
better,
40 something, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in the 80s, it's still okay. He was probably at his best maybe in the late 70s, again, like Viv, and then is an incredible player through the 80s and is on the decline at this point. But even on the decline, he still has a better record than Desmond Haynes.
Yet they've actually got really similar records in the 80s, right? 5,070 runs, 5,030 runs.
I don't think
Just the
Desmond
averages
Haynes
are
would
different.
pick himself over Gordon Greenwich. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I was terrified you were going to pick Desmond Haynes there. But again, not a bad player, Desmond Haynes at all.
Yeah.
But it's just that Gordon Greenwich Gordon Greenwich just had a gear, and also, if I remember correctly, Desmond Haynes doesn't make a lot of runs away from home. He makes the majority of his runs at home. I could be wrong with that, but Gordon Greenwich, an absolute, attacking player who could also play the moving ball. That combination isn't that common in Test cricket history.
Yeah. Plus, you pair him up with Sunil Gavaskar, and he's
Yeah.
a perfect foil to Gavaskar, right? He can be the aggressive batter. Gavaskar can kind of shut up shop and hold the fort. And then you've got Viv and Miyadad coming up next. Wow, this is a really strong team. Okay, so Jarrod, I need a middle order batter, or what's my option? What's my other
12th.
option?
Well, we have a 12th option, so you could go complete wild card and just pick someone who overlaps with everyone else.
Probably another batter, right? Because we've got
I could trust you to pick the middle order batter that I have in my head and go for a wild card pick. But then I feel like you might just go for the wild card pick as well, or someone better. So I'll make this easy for the both of us and pick Border. Yeah. 2 podcasts in a row I've picked up or drafted Alan Border. He can bat at 5 in this team after Miyadad. And I think dogged character, true grit were the words I used in the last one when I picked him. And kind of, he's not pretty, but he'll get the job done. He's effective. And again, we've got lots of leaders in this team now. Great minds, right? We've got Imran, Javed, Border, Viv. Who else do we have in terms of leadership?
No, that's it.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty much it.
No, there's plenty of good options. All right, I'm just going to finish off with Kapil Dev then.
Yeah.
It could be Kapil Dev or Ian Botham. I
Botham.
don't think it really...
It could be Waz as well.
Yes, I think we need a little bit more batting. I think it has to be both of them or... do I want Capel or do I want both of them? Because we need to back up our batting. No, actually, I'll go both of them, even though I think Capel Dev is a better player, just because I think both of them can bat. Both of them bats at number 6. And we might need more number 6 than we do anything else. And the thing is, when you look at both of them or Capel Dev, we don't really need their bowling because of Hadley. So I'd rather pick the guy who I think is the slightly higher in the batting order in both of them, which is a bit unlucky for Dev because I think he deserves to be in the side as well. But just the way that we're a little bit low on batting. I'm a little bit nervous about Imran Khan and Jeffrey Dujon at 6 and 7.
That makes sense.
Allows us now to bring both of them in if we had to and play around with that a little bit.
This is also a really party-heavy team. Lots of party boys in there, right?
I think in the 80s, I think you could come up with a more party boy team than this.
Maybe that's a Crickpicks for the future.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's certainly some people known for extracurricular activities in this side. I think that's fair.
Yep.
So the 11 that we have, or the 12 we have at the moment, is Border-Gavaskar, Gordon Greenidge, Viv Richards, Javed Meendad, Alan Border, Imran Khan, Jeffrey Dujon, Richard Hadley, Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner, Abdul Qadir, and Ian Botham. I went Imran Khan, Richard Hadley, Joel Garner, Ian Botham. Behram went
a strong
Viv Richards.
one.
It's pretty strong, yeah. I probably win it if I go Capel Dev, but the team needed a little bit of extra batting. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I don't try and tank every single draft for no reason. Behram went Viv Richards, Javed Meendad, Border-Gavaskar, Alan Border. Some batting talent there, man. And Estelle went Malcolm Marshall, Abdul Qadir, Jeffrey Dujon, and Gordon Greenidge. Incredible in any list in the history of cricket that someone would pick Jeffrey Dujon ahead of Gordon Greenidge, but that's what you did.
No, I think it's a really good team. We've done well over here. Some honorary mentions, I suppose, has to be the other West Indian quicks and maybe throw Wasim Akram and Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev, definitely. Those guys.
I think he's the most unlucky to miss out. Gow is an interesting one. Zahir Abbas, Greg Chappell. Probably 2 others. Gooch, Clive Lloyd, and Martin Crowe.
Yes. Martin Crowe definitely unlucky.
I just don't know how you fit those sorts of guys in. Like, as great as Holding is, I don't think he gets in ahead of any of our seamers. And so I'm not sure how you do that. And then Clive Lloyd and Greg Chappell and Zahir Abbas and Martin Crowe, all fantastic, but they're just better batters than available than any of them at the time. It's interesting actually going back because it's not thought of as a great batting era, partly because the averages were quite low in that time. But you do have like 4 or 5 just incredible batters that really stand out in that list. And you talk about Gooch, like, you know, Gooch's reputation is better than his average. He's not particularly close to this side because you could make a very good claim, as Estelle did, that you have Haynes in ahead of him as well. So it's a really, really strong side that, and it is weird that wicket keeping and spin is the 2 things that just.
It is really, really weird. But anyway, you guys let us know who we missed, and let's hear the individual picks. Have we done that already?
We have done that. Do you
Oh,
want me to do it again? Have you forgotten your own team?
No. Read
You
out
just
the
picked a
team
bunch
then.
of batters, dude.
Have you read out the team as a whole?
I think I did, but I'll do it again because you're now
sure.
looking at me weirdly. Border-Gavaskar, Gordon Greenidge, Viv Richards, Javed Meendad, Alan Border, Imran Khan, Jeffrey Dujon, Richard Hadley, Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner, Abdul Qadir, and Ian Botham.
That is quite strong. So let us know who you think won this particular draft. My money's on Jarrod because he's got some out-and-out superstars over there, especially when it comes to all-rounders, right? He's got 3 big ones and could have gone 4 big ones. He would have definitely won it that way. But you guys let us know who you think won and who we missed. That's all for this episode of Crickpicks. We'll be back with you next week. I'll have more facial hair for that episode because, this is not happening again. And have a good one, guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week once again. Bye-bye.
If you make any content, Minvo Pro is the tool for you. Take your long format content and cut it and slice it for social media. This AI-inspired weapon will turn your one piece of work into so many clips. Try Minvo.pro now.